looking at the free WagerTalk live odds screen right now, I'm seeing Boston minus 11, 11.5 on the road in Philly, total 224.5 for this ball game. And this has been a surprisingly, maybe a shockingly competitive series. Since Boston beat Philly in 2023 in the postseason, they've met 5 times. Philly's won straight up twice, and they've lost by 6, 10, and 18. Competitive. Only one really bad loss. They played on Christmas Day this year, the only previous meeting. Philly won straight up at plus 9.5. That was with Embiid and George on the floor. Obviously, they don't have that duo right now. And for all the struggle, I mean, Philly started in January. They went 2-10 straight up, 2-10 against the spread. Really playing bad, losing basketball. Team with a bunch of guys who shouldn't be on the floor for championship contending teams. And, the 2 wins during that span, Brooklyn and Washington. And they didn't even cover against Washington. The second point spread cover during that 2-10 straight up, 2-10 ATS span came by a hook against the Kings in a game they lost. Since that time, over the last, week and a half, 2 weeks, 4-1 straight up, 5-0 against the spread. They've beaten the Nuggets, the Kings, or they took the Nuggets to the wire, beat the Kings, the Lakers, the Bulls, and the Cavs. Good teams. Nick Nurse working miracles over there. Boston, you talked about the struggles the Celtics have had against the spread, and they've been problematic from a point spread perspective. They really have. And they're in revenge. Again, they lost to Philly earlier in the season, but this hasn't been a team that I've been comfortable laying a price. When they saw this against New Orleans the other night, Jason Tatum with a big night, but defensively, the Celtics' intensity wasn't there. Trey Murphy went nuts, and it ended up a 2-point road win thanks to a game-winning jumper from Jason Tatum. And that's been fairly typical for Boston. Joe Mazzulla, quote, "We didn't play perfect, but it's one of those games. If you win, you're happy. If you lose, you're not. So you have to take it all. I thought we had some well-executed play. I thought we executed down the stretch. Great. Let them execute down the stretch tonight and get the win. But Philly right now is certainly the value team of this duo. And when you talk about 5-0 ATS, their last 5, in my mind, that's a streak worth riding for Philadelphia. So if I'm going to get involved with this one, I'll take the points with the dogs, hold my nose, and expect Philly to continue their strong level of intensity in recent games, something that Boston's had a problem with of late. Tell me what you think, if you like. We appreciate the likes, the follows, and, of course, the comments very much. Agree, disagree? Let me know below in the comments. Thank you so much.
The only thing I'll add there, Teddy, too, is the Sixer games have been off just ridiculous. I mean, their last 10 games are averaging 235 points a game. They've gone over in 8 and 12. They have not met a shot they don't like taking. It's absolutely hilarious. So it'll be interesting to see. The total has gotten hit here this morning, has it not?
Yeah, we're seeing 224 out there now, even 224.5. It opened pretty much 221.5 is what I'll call the number. So we've seen some over money for this one. And it's worth noting, if you pay attention to this sort of thing, Tyrese Maxey did not make the All-Star team. I'm always interested in the guys that were snubbed. And Maxey was flat out snubbed. He's an All-Star. He played at an All-Star level. The only reason he didn't get there was because other players on his team were hurt. So if you're looking for player props, Maxey would be a guy to target. And Philly might be a team to target if their point guard plays with the intensity that he's been playing with and at the pace he's been playing with. I mean, obviously, you talked about what Philadelphia's been doing. They're an up-tempo team right now, and the market's certainly showing signs that they're adjusting to that with the 3-point move upwards on the total.
42 against Denver, 43 against the Lakers. I don't know what his point prop is, chat room, but you may want to look up Tyrese Maxey in prime time here tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern time. That tip in Philly. The late game, Teddy, also interesting here tonight as the Memphis Grizzlies, who as of late have kind of owned Milwaukee here a little bit. Milwaukee limping home from what has not been a little road trip, not been profitable at all to back them. And it started with a loss in Portland during the week, and it just kind of snowballed from there. But they do get to go home here. It is a short number against Memphis. Are you buying Milwaukee in a bounce-back spot here tonight?
So let's start with this. Portland's playing good ball right now, man. Blazers are making me and my clients money. And I love teams like Portland that nobody pays any attention to. Toronto's another team like that. Oh, bottom feeder. And they get an uptick. You can make a ton of money with teams like that. My clients and I have enjoyed the Blazers and the Raptors in a recent contest. But let's talk about the Grizzlies and the Bucks. And certainly Memphis is a team that has given Milwaukee fits in recent seasons. They've won 6 in a row against the Bucks. 5 of those wins came by double-digit margins, multiple times as an underdog, including 122-99 in the only meeting this year. Should we expect more of the same today? Let's talk about it. Before I do, let me promo for a minute. I haven't promoted at all today. Let me promo just a little bit. NBA's running good right now. Won again last night with the Blazers. Take $50 off a 30-day NBA all-access pass. Just use promo code SPORT50 at checkout. Again, $50 off a 30-day all-access pass. Promo code SPORT50 at checkout. I encourage you to get on board. And, of course, we really appreciate the likes, the follows, and the comments very, very much. So it makes sense that Milwaukee has had problems with Memphis. Memphis is deep, something that the Bucks haven't been in recent years. The Grizzlies are young, they're athletic, they're hungry, they play the fastest pace in the NBA, and those are things that have given the Bucks problems in many reasons. Milwaukee only, 13 in pace this year. Memphis is a better defensive efficiency team, number 7 compared to 10 for Milwaukee. So, first reaction here, and the Bucks off a loss. They've had a bad road trip, you talked about that. They're only 9-10 against the spread off a loss. So it's not like a loss has been, hey, we want Milwaukee. There are teams this year. Memphis is one of them who've been fantastic. Every time they lose, you bet on the Grizz the next game, you make money. They're like 13-3, I think, something like that, ATS. Bucks aren't like that, just 9-10. That being said, their home court advantage has been strong of late. The last 6 at home, all wins by 14 plus. Blowout. This home court has been worth something in recent weeks. Now, the quotes out of both these teams. Well, here's Doc Rivers talking about the bad loss to the Spurs in San Antonio on Friday night. Quote, "We gave up 17 points in the first 4 minutes of the game. To me, that set the tone. When they went into halftime, they felt great. We've been a great defensive team, but on this trip, we have not been. We've got to figure it out." Defensive quote from Milwaukee's head coach. Here's one from Taylor Jenkins, the Grizzlies head coach, talking about they won against the Rockets the other night by a single point, but it wasn't pretty. Quote, "Our defense has got to improve. We got to be better at our shift rotations, on-ball defense, second chance points. When we play the Rockets, they're going to test a lot of the things. We've got to be better about it." So when you see a total sitting at 246.5, and you see two teams that are fairly past Memphis, again, Memphis plays with pace. But when you see two coaches with both coaches coming out going, we sucked defensively last time. We got to play better. To me, that stands out a little bit. I'll look at the under in this contest. Again, 246.5. They could both get to 120 and we'll still cash the under. But I'm expecting, yes, they'll play with pace. But I don't know if this is going to be a game where we're going to see two teams shooting 50% from the field. So I look under between the Grizzlies and the Bucks. The highest total on the board, in my mind, a little bit too high for today. Agree? Disagree? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe right here on WagerTalk TV.